Hello, and welcome to this week's Urban Legends, the hit internet podcast about urban legends and other similar topics. We believe in the 7 P's in this podcast, which is piss poor practice, precludes pretty poor performance. So that's why we train and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, and we really hope you appreciate that. My name is Chris Flynn, and with me, as always, is my friend. That's it.
Exactly what we got.
Yeah.
Neil Herbert. How are we doing,
You,
everyone?
yeah, good. If I'm speaking for the people, Neil, which I feel that
I
I'm
think you are the
probably
Vox
best.
Populi.
I'm probably the best place to do, aren't I?
Yeah.
I yeah. Do you know what? Speaking for the people, Neil, I didn't sleep very well last night. I tell you what's happened is yesterday with, I mean, you could say sort of trademark carelessness.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I ate too much fruit.
Oh, that can be.
I ate too much fruit, and then my belly was bad last night. And the other thing which is combined with that is I have internal hemorrhoids, and
Mm.
which I got when I was younger, right? Because when I was a kid, I used to get really engrossed in reading on the toilet.
Okay.
Nice little quiet place to go and have a read.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Um, so I think what we can learn is that the doctors and all those quacks uh, talking out their ass. Get back on the kebabs, stick on Love Island, and you'll
Yeah.
be sound as a pound. You won't be suffering like me.
Nice greasy one. It'll come out
Yeah,
smooth and easy.
it's smooth and easy. How about you, Neil? How are your guts?
As it, as they ever were.
How are
Yeah.
they?
No.
Because I wanted to talk, and I think the listeners want to talk to you, Neil, because we lost someone very special today, didn't we?
I'm wondering where this is going, but yeah. I'll check we're on the same page. Who was that, Chris?
The big P
Yeah.
unit,
The old Pontifex himself.
P
Yeah.
unit from V City,
Bridge to God. Yeah.
Bridge to Gods. Yeah, we lost him today, didn't we? After
We did. Yeah. Dear old Pope Francis.
interesting that the earlier autopsies have shown that it could well have been leather softener poisoning that got him. So I don't know where he would have got that from recently in the last 20 hours, but
I don't know why you're mentioning that.
I think the reason why I'm mentioning all this stuff now, well, because you're a resident ex Catholic.
Yeah, well,
Um,
non practicing. You're never quite out from the fold, Chris. Just don't know. I am,
yeah,
I'm a confirmed Catholic actually, but
yeah.
yeah. So I'm going to hell. Don't
I'm a
worry.
confirmed bachelor. How do you like that?
Hey.
You. Um, so do you know what's really interesting? I heard that because from what I understand, he was within within the sort of confines of what it is. He was quite a progressive pope.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly revered as a particularly progressive institution, the Vatican. So
I
I
mean,
think
like
he was.
progressive to the extent that he uh, was down with stuff like empathy, right? That
Yeah,
kind of stuff. Not progressive, like to the extent that the Vatican would use any of its trillions of pounds to help solve child poverty or anything, right? Whoa. That's nothing about that in the Bible.
politics last week. Now you're having a crack at religion. This is why I don't have any
I said no
friends.
politics, but
No, so you go on
theology.
to religion.
Theology is something we can all agree on, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
I think. I don't know. I live in a generally secular society. I assume everywhere's like this. Um, but what's interesting to me, Neil, and this is why I bring it up, is I heard that the conclave of the cardinals
yeah.
that starts in 15 days.
Okay, yeah.
I also happen to know, Neil, that they are going to spend 2 weeks in deciding. We're talking a month.
Yep, you're gonna sit there with the old white smoke coming out. Was it black smoke or white smoke that comes out? I forget now.
Uh,
There's one color of smoke, and then when it changes, they've made their
I
own
hope
colours.
it's rainbow smoke just to piss off America.
Well, no, they won't do anything like that.
um, but I also happen to know, Neil, that your notice period at work is exactly 4 weeks.
Yeah, turns out.
So
Oh, and I did look this up
you're in the
earlier.
running? You in the running?
Well, I did actually look this up.
You a bat boy, yeah?
Yeah, well, Batboy already he went for Pope, didn't he? And president,
I got
didn't
it.
he? Yeah. So
Went
close.
for and got.
Yeah, so episode last week. No, I was looking on the latest odds, which, funnily enough, do exist. You can bet on who's going to be the next
Where's,
Pope.
what are the odds for Chris Akabusi? Because that's where I've got my money.
Terrifyingly long.
Really?
So worth a quid.
Quid's in.
Maybe has put an accumulator.
Put accumulator.
Yeah.
Akabusi for Pope.
Right, like 5 cardinals.
Akabusi for Pope. Civil Regis for Archbishop of Canterbury.
You want to cash out?
And Colin
An ecumenical crisis on a cash out, Paddy Power.
And Colin Jackson's going for Dalai Lama.
No.
Roger Black's becoming an imam.
Well,
I don't know why it's not all 90s track and field stars from the Crystal Palace area.
Up to become a Buddhist or something.
Yeah. So are you going for it? Are you going? Well, are you in? Have you
like any?
Have your people been speaking to their people?
Look, I can't confirm to know anything. All I can say is,
I'll tell you what, you'll be able to confirm stuff too.
Yeah, exploring when I get a paper well underway. Yeah, no, just exploring options. Just seeing.
Yeah.
So from now on, I'm going to be known as Giuseppe Monteverde.
Is it like?
Yeah, because it's important to be Italian. I think we want another Italian Pope. And
no, can we not? Could we not use?
We haven't had one of them for ages.
Could we not use like an Italian version of your name? So like,
go for that.
Nino.
Okay,
that's Neil.
Just about. Sounds more Spanish, Nino, to me, but
very similar.
Yeah.
Herbattiottini.
Okay.
Nino Herbattiottini the first. Me gusta.
Maybe Neapolitano or something. I don't know.
Neil Napolitano.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the name of that pizza you made with corned beef on the top.
Cornetto. Apologies to Italian listeners. Any of them still around.
No, so we're in speculation station here. If it did happen, like, what would there be any kind of changes you'd maybe make? Like any new kind of direction? Replace a Swiss Guard, maybe someone effective. Sell off the Sistine Chapel.
Bring back the Spanish Inquisition.
Nice, good.
Yeah,
that's it.
Back to basics.
That's it. Kitchen. Yeah. That's it. Bread and butter. Kitchen table issues. Bread and butter. Yeah. No mucking
Dig up
about.
Galileo.
Dig him up to
have his bones flogged.
So, and also, any chance might be a little bit.
You want a taste? Yeah, might be something going on in Vatican banking.
No on that. I was thinking like,
I'm
more of a kind of a mole hair, live on an island in a cave kind of guy.
Oh, you want to be kind of like some pilgrim on a hill or something?
I'm just sick of paying fucking rent.
Yeah, fair enough.
To be honest, like, can you just is it like Vatican's got to own loads of caves? Could you sort me out a cave?
Just
with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's fine.
And heating.
We can.
And it's not in a cave; it's actually bricks.
Whatever the living version of being beatified is, we'll claim you. We'll get 3 miracles out of you.
I mean, with the amount I used to drink, it's a miracle. It's a miracle I'm here, Neil.
Well, that's miracle one. I
used to drink miracle one. I've managed to trick a second woman into loving me. That's miracle 2.
That's miracle 2, yeah.
And 3, really, isn't it?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I think we're up to 5 miracles, really. Yeah.
I once ate sardines and went, "Oh, I wish this was mackerel," and then so I obviously had changed it into mackerel into my mouth.
You transubstantiated some Kipling into mackerel or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So
there you go, 3 miracles.
Oh yeah. So
I'm going to look this up now.
So what we're looking at is St. Christopher. Well, there's already St. Christopher, isn't there? Patron saint of travel. And his day is the same day as my birthday. We found out coincidentally. So
well, there you go.
So what do you reckon? Just St. Neo Chris. It's a modern day thing,
Well,
isn't
the
it?
thing is, you can change. You look like the rules and stuff on it. You can give yourself a new name, can't you?
Quite like my name though. How about
Christophorus. There you go. That'd be old
what
biblical,
about what about Chrissy boy?
if you like.
Chrissy boy, some Chrissy boy from round the arches.
Christophorus Arches.
Patron
First.
saint of lockups.
Yeah, there you go.
Lovely. That's good, wasn't it? Do you know what? I was going to talk about my recent ADHD diagnosis.
You got bored on something else.
I'm fucking sick of it. Sick of talking about it. I mentioned it once. Bored of it now. Trying to find something else that's wrong with me. So I think I'll leave that till next week.
Yes.
Because we got a big one today, Neil. And it ain't no mucking around like with the kids, with the bat boys in the pop cultures, is it, Neil?
Something you've looked up on some 4chan or whatever.
Yeah, on the 4chan.
Didn't they all get doxed recently?
Yay. Yeah, they did.
Hey, serves you right.
Well, I mean, like, to the extent that nothing will happen to them and they've caused irreparable harm, yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
What we doing, boy?
Okay. The most haunted house in England.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I didn't either, so I hadn't heard of this, but it's in Essex, which makes sense. So Borley Rectory. In 1940, psychical, there's a word for you, investigator.
Not cyclical.
No, psychical.
Psychical. Okay.
I don't know whether that's I assume that's a real word. I've never come across it before.
It's like it's a psychic who does his rounds on a bike.
Yeah, it means relating to special mental abilities or events that cannot be explained by science.
Lovely.
Psychical.
Psychical.
There's a new word for us both. A psychical investigator. Right. That's not new to you. Then you knew
not
that.
New to me at all.
Yeah, bollocks.
How much History 2 do I watch now?
Yeah. Lying to yourself, Chris.
That's
you're not
the only way
anyone,
to get.
And you just lying to
It's
yourself.
the only way to get through life.
Yeah. You have a nice cry tonight when you fall asleep.
I'll have a cry before I fall asleep. I'll have a cry during sleep, and I'll certainly be teary when I wake up.
Bathed in tears. Yeah.
Yes, it's tears, sweat. Yeah. What's your problem? Sheets all stuck to my face.
Urine.
Oh, a bit. I mean, like, what scales are you? Yeah, a bit if you work down a zoo. Quite a lot if you live in a flat.
Fair enough. I came straight too much into real life. Right, psychical investigator and ghost hunter Harry Price. That's a nice.
Harry Price.
Or Harry.
All right, Pricey.
I'm off
Harry
down
Price
Borley Rectory.
literally sounds like a Cockney gangster, doesn't he? Harry Price. Yeah, he was part of the Price firm, the Price brothers.
Yeah, I think he was one of the minor gangsters in Brighton Rock.
Yeah, there's Pinky.
He crossed Pinky and then
Pinky, Alfie Price.
Yeah.
Whiskers.
Yeah.
And Tommy Two-Tone.
Nah, don't worry about Harry. He's a nonce, but he's a soft lad.
Yeah,
You take care of him.
I've got to go and cut him up at the racetrack.
Right, so in the 40s, he produced an account of his stays and studies at Borley Rectory. The book was called The Most Haunted House in England, and for a time, the price was right.
The price was right.
Because his name's Harry Price, you say. And so what they've done is they've taken his surname and they've worked that into a pun. Do you see?
Is that so? So this is the kind of thing we should do more of, right? This is
a fundamental building blocks of comedy.
Yeah.
There's understood.
Rule of three. Yeah. Yes, there's rule of three. There's yes anding.
Yeah.
And there's puns. I think
yes and isn't it supposed to be no something else?
No, I'm being really no. I don't do that to my neighbours.
Or...
No. Yeah, the rule there we go. Okay, so again, something we can maybe go away and have a think about. Starting to employ some of these fundamental.
Been doing it for 3 years.
This is 4 years now, Neil. I'm really terrified to tell you it's four in July or June.
It's not going any better, is it? Right. And just a shout out to the author as well. It's written by Kate Sherrill. So I believe it's her own website, Burials and Beyond. She's a writer, editor, and creator of the Burials and Beyond the website. By trade, a writer and spooky lecturer for hire,
All
can usually
right.
be found lurking in cemeteries, archives, haunted houses, darkened rooms, or antique shops, getting up to no good.
If that was a description of a male rather than a female paranormal writer, I think, a lot of red flags there.
Look, I mean, as ever, we're having a lift of their article, so I think you gotta be nice. And
No,
it
I'm
looks
saying
like a good
no. I'm
article
saying
to it.
I wasn't unnice. I'm saying that
No.
that list of hanging around graveyards, getting up to no good.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
Do you know
Right,
what?
yeah, rightly, that could be. Yeah,
Yeah,
all right, fair enough.
I'm not having a go at them, Neil. You're defending people. I'm not attacking. This series has started terribly.
It is, isn't it? Just give up after 3 apps.
No.
Would you give it another go next week, and then we'll just
Well, yeah, we'll decide then.
then
Make or
we'll have
break. Yeah, finally.
best of three. Yeah,
Finally, Thelma and Louise get to the fucking cliff edge.
I've just been waiting for that. Look, everyone knew this was going to be a murder
Fucking
suicide pact
why
going in.
They're slow rolling this
But we're in like
suicide.
fucking mid-season where they're just dragging this shit out. Just fucking dirty pussies.
I've been going on the internet deleting urban legends so they've run out of material. Yes, sugar-free little ginger beer.
Mm.
Only 60p a bottle at your local little store. Little, get more for less.
Nice. That's little. I assume that's there.
Where a little means a lot to us.
Where a
Because
little goes a long way.
a little means a lot to us because we make money on every purchase you make. I'll tell you what's nice the other day. I'd been out for a nice long walk with the missus.
Mhm.
Went up to down like right to the edge of town, up at the there's the cafe up by the roundabout by the motorway,
Around by the
up to Dyke
roundabout.
Road, not
Oh,
to
right,
Real
yeah, yeah.
Road,
Yeah, yeah.
hillsides.
Seven dials.
No, hillside, right
Oh,
up by
right,
the
okay.
right up by the bypass.
Yeah.
And it was a really nice sunny day, and I felt really happy because I was out like walking in the woods and stuff. It did something
Yeah.
really good for me. And then on the way back, we went into the Lidl, and because it's a European
Yeah.
superstore, I was like there, and I kind of just ignored the voices, and for a minute, I felt like I was on holiday. It was so
Okay.
nice. I was like, this is so good.
Yeah, there's something like going to like a Carrefour or something.
Yeah, I love Carrefour.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Actual decent veg.
Well, now, got to be careful with your old fruits and veg.
That's true.
Too much fruit and veg, you'll end up shitting in a hedge. That's what they say.
Again, it rhymes. It must be true.
Yep.
Right. Anyway, I feel like we've gone off track. So let's dive
Beautifully.
straight back into it. Mind you, having said that, we'll be happy if it turns out to be too short an article. So, but I believe, well, it's the most haunted house in England, so there's got to be plenty here, isn't there? Anyway, but I think this is specifically around one book, so we'll see how long this article is, and then we'll.
So, is it the most haunted, or did the book claim it?
Well, let's dive in and find out.
Because I think, like with
Oh, it's not with any of
the
these things, isn't it? It's kind
like
of
like with all the with all the sort of violence and bloodshed over which is the oldest pub in England, with
Yeah.
many of them claiming it,
I mean,
and
claim oldest pub in Brighton alone.
many lives lost because of it. I think this is the same. I think a lot of places are going to be claiming to be the most haunted place in England.
This one was quite recognised, I think, when I was doing a bit of googling. Mind you, Google you can't rely on for a search anymore, anyway. So, where am I supposed
No.
to go? 14 times, Chris. That ain't gonna happen. Seen the price of the 14 times. Fuck me.
No. Can you buy it?
I assume I.
I thought it was just a website.
I believe it started as a like a I don't know, a
Penny
newspaper type thing or
dreadful.
periodical. That's the word I'm looking for.
Periodical.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because it's quite
Periodical.
yeah. Anyway,
That's what it's called. That's what a newspaper's called in Spanish.
nice.
Because I'm learning it.
Spanish. All I can think is hola.
That's good.
And yo la tengo.
Mate, do you know what that and that
Yeah.
lovely smile you've got will get you very, very far anywhere. Anywhere.
enough.
Yeah, 80% of language is body language, isn't it? And
Muchas gracias.
I've got to say, your body language is chatty. It's very chatty. It's talkative. It's talkative. It's lyrical, and it's confusing.
Yeah.
That's just a little compliment for you there.
You know, I'm not good with compliments, Chris.
I know, but it's okay for two straight male friends to give each other compliments.
Fair enough.
Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. And I refuse to accept that there is. Hi, all of our male listeners, I've got to say, the colour of your eyes is pretty unique, and I like it.
Yeah.
There you go. It's
Very
nice, isn't
nice.
it? It's nice. We're trying to
Bit of self-affirmation. Why
we're
not?
trying to uplift. We're trying to uplift the world now.
Yeah.
Is that too much of an ask for us with our tiny podcast? Maybe. Is it going to stop us trying?
Probably. No, of course.
Yeah. And like within 5 minutes, I'll turn into a nasty person again. It's fine. There's no consistency.
Well, we're back down at the bottom of the roller coaster. I'm going to get back on board and
Get back on,
yeah. Right. In 1940, psychical investigator and ghost hunter Harry Price produced an account of his stays and studies at Borley Rectory.
Oh, Harry Price, that's like a name of like a gangster or something.
Okay, this is just the opening paragraph again, because it's doing the Price is Right joke again.
I know.
Right. Then photo of Borley Rectory. Right. Like so many others, I was raised on stories of Borley Rectory. Okay, fair enough. And became obsessed with claims of the paranormal from afternoons of sit with my granddad. I mean, I don't know, do you ever read those kind of like, I'm pretty sure my parents had like a Reader's Digest and stuff, or my grandparents maybe. Do you ever read any of those kind of things where it was like real life spooky stories and things? Yeah.
You didn't have anything like that.
Pointing at pictures, I can't remember any of them, pointing at pictures of scribbled spirit writing in tatty encyclopedias. I have such a real warmth and emotional attachment to the story and truly wish I believed in all of the reports. Oh, I think we have a cynic, Chris. They are fantastic. Skeptic.
I'd rather say skeptic.
A questioning mind is a good mind.
Like us, Neil. It's fine to be skeptical, but please don't be cynical.
Yeah.
Please. You know, it's unnecessary. Who do you think you are? You don't know everything.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Every manager I've ever had. Carry on.
Right. They are fantastical, outrageous, with sex and death intertwined against a background of tortured nuns and Gothic architecture. Starting promisingly. Is it any surprise so that for many years, most of the UK was entranced by Borley's strange happenings? So, built in 1862, the house was installed as a residence for the parish rector.
That's very new for the most haunted house.
Yeah, I was going to say, mind you, don't know what's gone on. It's like that. What's that house they had in? Was it in Argentina? It was the Massachusetts house or something.
Matsuzuki house.
Yeah.
Matsuzuki house.
That was quite new, wasn't it?
Series 1 or 2, if people want to go back and have a listen. It's a good one.
Plenty went on in there, so I can understand why it was so haunted. We'll see with this one. The house was, mind you, I don't know. Is the things that went on commensurate with the amount of haunting? I don't know. You've got to spill a lot of blood to get a lot of ghosts. I don't know. I would assume so, but maybe it doesn't work out like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, metaphorically, spill blood.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, poison or strangulation.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So installed as the residence for the parish rector and was instantly the subject of local gossip. Oh dear. Bunch of NIMBYs. The rectory was an imposing and strange building with a pointed and most photographed east frontage and cramped internal courtyard. Oh, look at the state of that courtyard.
Oh,
it's cramped, isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible.
A rector live in there. Not what I'd care to.
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what as well? I've heard that the plumbing in there is awful, and sometimes that courtyard can get up to 4 inches of sewer water into it. Do you know what? I told them, you buy cheap, you buy twice.
All that east frontage, I'd be putting it west, darling, if I were you.
Oh, you don't want the sun coming up on that.
Put him in his place.
Yeah, lovely.
Rector. Yeah.
Oh, I'll wreck you in a minute, sweetheart. Sid, I
The
can't do
earlier,
anything right.
the earlier rectory had burned to the ground in 1841. I mean, maybe it's just like a kind of Wicker Man situation. There's just like a bunch of pagans in this place or something. I don't know.
In 1870s Essex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
Why not?
Again, if you can be on the Summer Isle or whatever it was called. Was that in Scotland or something like that? Maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, it's up in the Highlands somewhere.
Yeah.
I was pointing out because we've got a standing stone, haven't we, in Hove Park?
Mm,
And that's where I do my worshipping at midnight every night.
nice. Yeah.
Um,
Lovely full moon out.
Lovely for
Oh,
you know, now and then. Those are the good nights. And I was saying, look, we kind of Christian country, but you know, let's be
yeah.
honest. We never. A lot of people didn't ever fully buy into it, especially down here in Sussex.
I know. Deep roots.
The old gods, Neil,
Oh, yeah. Don't wake
who I
those.
who I symbolize. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was your MS-13 tats.
Shut up.
Oh, no. Yes, finally got him renditioned.
The Labour government said, unfortunately, any request for the return of Chris Flynn might unfortunately stall their trade deal where they're going to give all of the medical information to Peter Thiel. So,
Have you seen Nigel Farage defending chlorinated chicken in the papers?
he's just another one that someone should have kicked into the sea a while ago, isn't he?
Yeah, he belongs in the sea, to be fair.
Yeah, he'd be all right in the sea.
Yeah,
He'd like it. Like it, you know, the sea.
Mariana Trench, there you go. And a bit of gurning down there.
And there's some gurning down there. There's not many Muslims in the sea.
No, exactly.
I know.
Should suit you out. Right, anyway, no politics. The early rectory had burnt to the ground.
It's a difficult rule to keep at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
And I think we're doing well. I think we're doing well.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, mate.
for us, yeah. But
Yeah, but I mean, I'm obviously a cauldron of opinions at the moment.
Right, so the original was burnt to the ground in 1841, and the Gothic monolith that replaced it was ripe for excitable imaginations to run riot.
Gothic monolith. What? Thatcherism?
Oh,
No politics.
Jesus Christ, the shoe on that one. Borley itself is a tiny rural community, nice, of 3 hamlets in Essex.
Nice.
That had 110 inhabitants at the last census. Oh, wow.
Nice way to live, hamlet life, provided you like everyone on your business, which I do.
Yeah.
And
I love for that.
And a lovely smooth cigar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I'd love a hamlet right now, wouldn't you?
Didn't he get advertised by Gregor Fisher of Ramsey Nesbitt fame?
I think as the Baldy Man character.
He's the Baldy Man character, yeah.
Yeah, towards the tail end of Hamlet.
Yeah. So you don't see him anymore, do you?
No. I loved being a stupid kid. I remember like when we were sort of 18 going to nightclubs and buying like cigar, like Philly blunts.
We used to do it with
the
have a Hamlet down the pub.
Have a Hamlet.
Yeah.
What were the really
pretty classy. End of the night, smoking a Hamlet.
Do you know what? I was worried I wasn't going to vomit when I got home.
Thing is, if you've ever actually had a real cigar,
yeah, I've had a cigar. I've had a real cigar with you.
Yeah,
we've had cigars together.
Yeah,
back when we had that Man Fluencer podcast. Do you remember, Neil? Before we took a turn to the cuck.
One of the really big, like Schwarzenegger style, kind of like really ridiculously huge, or even ridiculously huge, just like kind of what I would picture as like a kind of like a, cigar. And bloody hell, they just last for hours. That's no fun, is it?
Well, I've got ADHD now, so I'll get very bored.
About the
very
first
quickly.
10 minutes, I'm like, yeah, it was fine. I'm pretty done with this now.
Oh.
There's quite a lot left.
Okay.
Right.
Well, it cost 15 quid, so.
I mean, those ones that just look like big cigarettes, that's, you can sort of smoke it in 15
like a Gilwa.
Yeah.
Is and like when you're doing
like a slightly bigger like Hamlet or anyway, yeah.
We used to see when I used to work in like a hotel bar, you used to have like singles that you'd sell different
yeah.
cigars behind the bar. You have your little cigar cutter.
Nice.
Yeah, good times. I might pocket one now and then.
Ooh,
I'm not saying that I've always been on the right side of the law. Okay, you got to remember, I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks in Minneapolis. Me and
you're not the
I was on
Clash said you fought the law, but the law won
I'm sure has it
eventually. Yeah.
has it
Mm.
because what I would say is a lot of propaganda that I've been putting out led directly to austerity, which massively slashed the police force.
There you go.
Got any- got-
Heard it here first.
It's because I keep hold of the means of production, Neil. My brain.
All right, there you go.
No politics.
Borley itself is a tiny rural community of 300
Neil, can we just get on with this story, please?
Yeah, trying to. That had 110 inhabitants in the last census. Nonetheless, local legends have long been established,
Mhm.
primarily concerning the supposed existence of a Benedictine monastery in the area around 1362. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Some Benedictine monks from the 14th century. Now I'm
The
feeling better.
Bennies, the B-boys.
Yep. B units. Tradition states that a local monk began a secret affair with a nun from the local convent.
It's all
It's
right.
going to get you a haunting.
Well, they're both going to know. Well, they both know how to keep the mouth shut. And do you know what? I reckon God will be all right with it. He's working through both of them. So,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? That's a bit of a touch for him, isn't it?
Well, he gets to see it from both sides.
Gets to feel it from both sides.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever dreamt of that?
Monk and a nun. Nice.
Mm.
That's a,
Hey, Neil, would there be room for a little one?
a full house in the.
Full house, yeah. Okay, well, you need a monk. You need
Yeah.
you need a rectory.
Well, we'll see where we go. After the affair was discovered by their superiors, they were brutally punished.
Oh.
The monk was swiftly executed,
Okay.
but the
Yeah,
nun.
well, he go, oh, well, what are you going to do? Send me to heaven quicker?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Not a problem.
Not a problem.
But the nun suffered a far worse fate, being bricked up in the convent walls and left to suffocate and die.
It's similar fate.
Nastier death, isn't it? Mind you, we don't know how he died. Relievedly for the monk and nun, the story in the monastery seems to have been little more than local legend. Oh, there you go.
You know what the bricking people? Oh, I suppose they'd be tied up, wouldn't they? But even
well, there was. I mean,
because
do you mean is there any truth in the bricking people up thing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to understand
Matthew stories.
Well, I'm trying to understand how it would work because, like, they brick you up, but obviously the mortar would still be wet, so you just go and push through the wall.
Yeah, I wonder if it comes from. I don't know if you've ever heard of like oubliettes, where they would like a hole in like a castle where the people they really wanted to punish would shove them down into. It's almost like a basement, but really, really cramped. So it's like French for forgotten place or something. Okay. And it's so they would shove people down into these incredibly cramped holes and then just kind of like throw food and water down there. But effectively, you would just.
I mean, again, it doesn't sound bad. I mean, like compared to paying rent, awful. What, free food, free lodge, it's all right. As long as you've got an imagination, you'll be away.
Yeah, all right. It's like Schindler's List. That's not the movie I'm thinking of.
All right, Kafka.
What's that?
Man in the Iron Mask?
No.
Count of Monte Cristo.
No, what's the one?
D'Artagnan.
Yeah, D'Artagnan.
Three Muskehounds.
No, the one with Tim Robbins in the prison. Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, right, yeah.
Is that his whole speech about? And then we heard that opera singer of one day.
Now, this is why you. It was
like we've been released.
This is why you made it to like the last five to be the host at the Oscars. But then during the rehearsal, when you started saying stuff like Schindler's List instead of Shawshank Redemptions and American History X instead of White Chicks, that they decided that.
Yeah, we like
you, Neil.
We like your energy.
Yeah. We like you're a funny guy. You're friendly. Your body language, it's all over the shop. We love it.
Yeah,
but there seems to be no correlation with what you're reading on the card and what you're saying.
They wouldn't be the biggest cock up in the Oscars over the last few years.
No.
Anyway, yeah, right.
Bless you.
So I'm going to do the Golden Globes next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You and Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, me and Ricky. Yeah,
The two
Don't worry
most
about
the two most unappealing people from the UK. Get Russell Brand in as well.
yeah. Get Russell Brand and what's his face, James Corden.
James,
Oh,
we've
been
the
pretty tasty.
dream team.
Oh.
The dream team. The Corden,
Yeah.
the Brand,
Tell it
the
like it
Gervais,
is.
and the Herb.
And who's this cheeky little fella?
He's the new one. It's the YTS boy they're bringing through from the youth team. It's
Unbelievably, he's an even bigger company.
Herbert.
Oh no, we're not supposed to be swearing, are we? Oh, I think I would imagine that's probably
Oh yeah,
the first one.
just interestingly, for people, we have some trouble with YouTube, because of
What's going to go wrong?
because of the freedom, because freedom of speech and all that. The fact that if we try and promote it in America to American audience, because a lot of listeners are American, it always comes up with election interference.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you could actually, if we have any clout, that's unbelievably sad.
No, the fact that there isn't an election.
Well, no.
So basically, they've just gone, "Oh, Trump's in, right?"
We probably never will be again, Chris. No
I mean, you
politics.
joke.
No politics.
I think elections TBC at this point. But yeah, like it does that, and also I'd like to say to anyone in YouTube who's listening, the liberal use of swear words, including the C word, is very much a cultural thing for Celtic people, for Irish people, Scots people, Welsh people, for Bretons and those from Galicia and the Isle of Man. And the fact that you are censoring that from us is woke nonsense. Hey, make comedy legal again.
Oh,
Hopefully someone will hear that.
I think you just got yourself a writer's gig on the new UK version of Saturday Night Live, Chris. Lorne Michaels is going to like the cut of that jib.
Do you know what? It was satirical, but it was really easy to understand. So
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Why are
they doing it? Why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? Like, no, we don't find Saturday Night Live funny. Like, I understand that. Like, it's just difference in taste. Like, I'm not saying it isn't funny, and loads of brilliant
lots of
people
funny
come
clips
from
that
it.
come out of it. I mean, given you're improvising it every week, it's probably quite. But yeah.
Well, they're not improvising any of it. It's written.
Okay, yeah. I mean, given
by
that
a
you're
big
doing
team
it
of
live,
writers.
Yeah.
Neil, we do this live.
Yeah.
And it's,
nobody's impressed by that.
No,
exactly. It seems so heavily scripted.
The 7 Ps, Neil. Come on.
Yeah. Right. We've gone on about the monk and the what's happening. Okay, so local legend, no historical basis at all. So needn't bother with this paragraph, basically.
Okay.
Namely, no religious orders were harmed in the making of this ghost story. Okay. So despite the monk nun story proving to be false, the tale of the murdered lovers would form the basis of many future investigations, reports, and paranormal claims. Okay, well, I suppose the point is it's the area was considered to be sort of, they had some sort of, stories and things going on. So tales of Borley's ghosts first emerged in 1863 when reports of school children were circulated, as they claimed to have seen the ghost of a nun.
Okay.
In 1900, another group of children claimed to have seen the ghost of a nun in the rectory's grounds that disappeared as soon as they approached.
Oh.
As deliciously consistent as these reports may be at face value, it is now generally considered that the first rector's children concocted the first report based on a physically imposing appearance of the house.
Neil, can I just a little aside, based on kind of what we're learning through this podcast.
Yes.
So there's a kind of sort of truism in the ghost stuff that kids are more sensitive and therefore they see stuff more than us, right?
Yeah.
Is
They're
it also
skeptical and therefore more?
Is it also not true that kids are liars and make stuff up?
Well, it depends. Game, don't be a cynic, Chris.
I'm not being a cynic. I'm just saying that there's.
Is it not also true that children are innocent?
Do you know what? That
Therefore,
is
we're
true,
not.
isn't it?
Yeah,
And isn't it true that children really are the best of us?
yeah.
And isn't it
If
true
we
that
lead them and show them the way,
and is it not true that no child is born bigoted?
it's true. Yeah,
And isn't it true that children have tiny little hands so they can get into the machines to get the bits of cotton out?
yeah.
Yeah.
True use, or get that chimney really clean.
Get kids back to work.
Yes.
No, earn your education. Do you know what? We're going to really struggle to pay for the triple lock pension for the next 10 years if we don't start getting 12-year-olds back in the old factories.
Back in the factory. We just want to get the old manufacturing back up and going, don't we? So yeah. Now that everyone's getting tariffs, we just need to keep selling to ourselves.
Yeah. I'm going to get into the plimsoll game.
Nice.
Do you want in? You want in?
No, I'm going to be making artisan sourdough loaves. Not enough of those around.
Oh, good. Finally.
Yeah.
You're gonna take it to the place, what I like to consider an artisan food desert, the Seven Dials area. You're gonna start selling it there.
Could only give it a go.
Right, nice one.
Yeah.
It's gap in the market found.
This fucking Starbucks. Right. Oh, another. They just opened a gate. I say there's a Gales there on the corner now as well. I've never, yeah.
The Greek, I really like the Greek place there.
Greek was nice. I don't mind Flowerpot Bakery. But yeah, Greek was probably the best around there. And I've not used it, but I like the notion of the that supermarket where you can just buy stuff without all the wrapping and stuff.
Yeah, they've got one on George Street as well. I'm going to start using it. Yeah,
it's just a bit too far for me to carry the stuff back, but I'm lazy.
And also, come on, you know what you're getting at the petrol station where you do your shopping, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And your friend Michael works there. Yeah. Are you Mr. Neil?
You know, the odd bit of free salmon. Reduced. Right, anyway. Have the kids made it up, maybe, who knows. It was 1927 when the Reverend Guy Eric Smith and his wife moved into the rectory.
The Reverend guy.
Yeah.
Hey, that Reverend guy.
Hey, you're a pretty Reverend guy, Eric. Yeah, thought about becoming a rector. Thought about the religion game.
Because you're pretty reverendy. You're pretty reverendy for stevedore.
Well, this doesn't do my back any good. I do like God.
I do like him.
Let's give. What can I lose?
You know what? I'm just going to start as a layman preacher and see where it takes me.
Right.
Now he owns 4 private jets.
He invented the prosperity gospel. Nice billionaire.
Owns half of Nigeria.
Yeah. If you yourself have not been lucky, you've got to keep paying in. It's like a fruity machine, It's going to pay out eventually. It's a fruity. You've got to have the will. It's
a spiritual fruity.
Yeah.
Look,
it's going to pay out anytime now. Just
what
what do you think payday loan companies are there for? Yeah,
exactly.
They wouldn't charge such ridiculous amounts of interest if they didn't know you could become a billionaire.
They're not going to charge. They're not going to charge that if you wouldn't be able to pay it back. Neil. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
That'd be borderline criminal behaviour.
I mean, I would.
Somebody in Parliament would
literally no government would allow their people to be taken that way, would they?
No.
Absolutely not. No, it's you get your payday loan, into the spiritual fruity. Got no money. Got no money left this month. Do you know what we could do next month now? Different payday loan company. Pay that payday loan. What you got left
roll it over.
Keep rolling it over. You just got to keep rolling it. It's what businessmen do. Just keep rolling it over. Just keep the money flowing.
Presumably what that Limp Bizkit song was about.
It's literally what's propping up our economy.
If Fred Durst has that to say, then it's good advice.
Yeah, roll,
like
roll,
red hat.
Yeah.
I assume he was going bald or something.
I bet if he took it off and he had a really gorgeous comb over.
Fucking Bobby Charlton.
Like Bobby Charlton.
Yeah. Put the fucking hat back on, Fred. Do you think he looks a bit obnoxious? No, seriously. Keep the cap on, yeah.
And he had that little goatee because he had a birthmark in the shape of a testicle on his chin. That's why he disappeared into music. He was really badly bullied at school because he was born with the comb over.
Yeah.
People don't talk about patent baldness in children very often, but it happens.
Yeah, alopecia, or whatever it's called. Yeah.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, I assume he's died of a massive heart attack after crack cocaine fueled baselining, freeballing, whatever it's called.
Freebirding.
What is it? Jim Belushi died
Mainlining.
of this. I
Oh,
think it's called
speedball.
freeballing. I
No, the
think it's called
speedball. Speedball.
freebasing. I think is the one. I think it's crack cocaine. I think it's cocaine and
called
heroin at the same time.
Yeah, it's called a speedball.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, and it kills you. So it's literally like a suicide.
Just
Is it? Do you know what?
here's a fun idea: Russian
might
roulette, but all 6 chambers are loaded. Well, try anything once.
But there is a chance that if when you do it, that somehow you survive, because sometimes people do. So
Me and Phineas Gage. Yeah,
it's very much the prosperity gospel style of partying.
I think this is gonna pay out.
Things are going really well for me. I've got films, got loads of money, everything's great. Right, let's spin the wheel.
Yeah. Bored now.
Bored.
Turn it all up and down. All right. Yes, is it here? So Reverend Guy and his wife move into. I'm going to call him I'm just going to call him Reverend Guy. Reverend Guy and his wife moved into the rectory, and the first instance of a very modern haunting laid their roots.
A very modern haunting.
Modern haunting.
Very modern haunting.
It's 27, so this is kind of like Jesus Worcester time.
A very British haunting. Don't you hate it when they do that? The TV, they go a very British murder or something like that. A very British affair. It's like, what are you talking about?
It's like an affair or a murder, but there's muffins involved, crumpets or something.
Yeah,
in a green field.
Oh my God! And we don't know what he died of. In the autopsy, open them up and just tea bags fly out the lungs.
Emotional repression.
Yes, emotional repression. Tea bags and Terry's chocolate oranges.
Nice.
Well, sure. I don't think we need to check his passport. And that's it from this week's NCIS. See you soon.
See you next week on BritBox. Oh no, you don't exist. Surely nobody fucking subscribes to that.
Shitbox.
Oh dear. I mean, maybe Anglophiles abroad. I don't know, but I can't believe anyone in the UK.
Mate, the only place where there's any subscriptions to that's Benidorm. Honestly,
where can I see a lower low that's on the Dave channel?
Look,
Dave Gold still not got deep enough cuts.
Look, we've literally worn to paper thin our DVD copies of Only Fools and Horses, which we put on 24 hours a day in our cafe while we serve roast dinners and pints.
Streaming it ain't on hot, mum.
Yeah, or that's a little bit all right. Yeah, bit of Alvida's pet.
I've seen Windsor Davis on TV for 30 years. What's going on?
Windsor Davis, lovely boy.
Don't worry, BritBox has got you sorted. Don't know what that was. Anyway,
I think it was James.
I started almost thinking about a Welsh accent, then just swerved it off.
Yeah, I know you pulled out real hard there and went into Horrocks.
Just right into the skid, just right into the skid. Right. So, shortly after moving in, Reverend Guy and his wife found the skull of a young woman in a cupboard by the wife. This was said to be the trigger for supernatural activity. I mean, first I'd be worrying about there being a murder. But anyway.
What, you found a skull?
Well, yeah, there's a skull in a cupboard.
Do you know what? You're like one of those people. You're one of those people who waste police time, aren't you? Oh, I think there might have been a murder. All right, what is it? I found a skull. Yeah, well, how many people do you think lived in England since it started? Goodbye. That's what they'd say. And they'd be right to say it.
Fair enough.
I mean, they probably would.
Yeah, in fairness. Yeah,
it's a crime number.
Immediately after the skull discovery, a whole host of paranormal events were said to have occurred. Do you reckon that it was buried in the wardrobe then and they just disturbed the team sort of thing? It's like Tutankhamun or something. Strange lights appeared, unexplained footsteps moved within the house, and the ghostly apparition of a horse-drawn carriage was seen nearby.
Oh, nice.
Not too shabby. The Paul went on to contact the Daily Mirror. Right. There you go, straight into the press.
Yeah.
Because
might as well get a nifty.
Well, you don't, how are you going to find out about a psychical investigator?
You used to get 50 quid for calling in to the tip line. To the tip line for like celebrity tip line. like at the Mirror and the Sun.
Oh,
You
really?
call in, you go, "Oh, I've just seen
Just seen David
Mick. I've just
Hewlett
seen.
buying an apple or something.
I've just seen Mick Hucknall punch a sheep or whatever,
Yeah.
right?" And they go, "Well, sorry, I sold. Yeah, well, yeah, we get a million of these, right?" But yeah,
I've
like,
seen
and
Simon
people use,
Cowell opening a can of tin
but
peaches,
they know, but they would never check it. So people would just ring in and just make
bringing in
stuff
the old
up.
nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then you'd see it like.
Mind you, I reckon that's probably half the thing because it's like, well, as long as somebody's reported it, we can say, well, a source said,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
they
I
didn't
mean,
care.
to be honest,
That's well worth 50 quid, Chris.
that is a standard of journalism I wish we still maintained.
Well, that's true, yeah. At least you openly offered a bribe to try and get some sort of credibility
At least you paid an actual human
rather than openly denying the truth.
rather than just some rather than saying the sky is red whilst receiving money from Russia. That's a living all right.
So their intent was to make contact with the Society for Psychical Research. I didn't realise psychical was going to be being used a lot. It's getting a good wear out in this article, which is good. Naturally,
I like the fact that there's a little steeple in the on
the
the
rectory.
corner there. Yeah,
Mm.
swear that's how it. Like those pneumatic shoom machines, the pneumatic.
Tubes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically like a pneumatic tube for prayers, isn't it?
Nice.
Because
Back when I worked at a supermarket, Chris had a pneumatic tube.
really,
I used to bundle up the cash and put it in, and away it would go into a pay room.
is that what happened downstairs?
Mm.
Well, was it worth it?
You tell me.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
I will.
right.
Challenge accepted.
So,
I've got dice for now, dude.
naturally, when tabloids are contacted, issues arise concerning the individual's intent, desire for publicity, and the legitimacy of their claims. These issues of fame versus sincerity would similarly plague Borley throughout its years of infamy. I mean, there's not a lot of evidence yet that it's the most haunted house in the country, is it? But anyway.
Well, there was a skull. There were some lights. There
But
was horse-drawn carriage and footsteps.
Yeah. But Harry Price is on the scene now. So the Mirror responded to the couple's claims by sending a reporter joined by Harry Price.
Harry Price, who is in my head now, played by Michael Caine.
Yeah. All right, Harry Price, HP to you.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
This is a very haunted rectory.
Do you know what? I haven't practiced that in ages, so I'm not going to do it.
Anyone remember he's kind of like you try and do the one from Stella Street. Do you ever see that?
Yeah.
So, Launch two, girl, you like them.
Remember it, yeah, on the trip, Coogan and both did very good ones, yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, professional impersonators.
Not in the same league. No. And don't pretend to be. The Mirror responded to the couple's claims by sending a report to Harry Price.
Do you know what? You just make it clear that you're speaking for yourself.
All right, I am. Yeah.
Good.
I thought that was obvious by inference, but there you go.
No.
So Harry Price is a paranormal researcher carving a name for himself as a renowned investigator of mediums, psychics, and seance at the tail end of when everyone believed in this bollocks. There's a picture of him looking very distinguished.
Nice.
Dapper gentleman in his
handlebar
50s, so he's probably about 18.
Yeah. It's Harry Price. just finishing school.
Shortly after Price's arrival, the unexplained activity increased considerably. This is interesting. Price compiled a report of his dramatic experiences, recounting spirit messages and objects thrown about the house by unseen hands.
Again, I'm going to be honest. I am skeptical when a psychic researcher turns up and then suddenly there's a flurry of activity.
Well, let's see.
Maybe it's just because, I mean, they'll say it's because we're firing out a lot of psychic energy, and it's it's exciting the troops.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
because they can be seen there. Well, they're like performers, aren't they? The ghosts. They like to be seen. So when they get a captive audience, they're going to act up.
Yeah.
Curiously,
they're like the Jackson 5 in that way.
exactly. As Price departed, so did the phenomena. By June 1929, the Smiths would leave Borley and be replaced in October 30 by the Reverend Lionel Algernon Foster.
Algernon.
Nice. Algernon, excuse me.
No problem.
Foister as well, I believe it is. Algernon Foister. Marianne.
That is a Jeeves and Worcester name.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He likes newts, do you know?
Yeah, Algernon. Yeah.
And their daughter Adelaide. It would be this family and Maria Woodhull and the Friends Club in particular who would be most synonymous with the ghostly goings on. The family remained in the house. So they all seem to have bought into this. The family remained in the house for 5 years, during which time the Reverend compiled a substantial report of all the supernatural experiences the family endured. This enormous dossier was subsequently submitted to Harry Price, whose interest would only grow as the years passed.
Just very quickly, if I can jump in while there's pause, I'd just like to let ITV2 know that if you are devoid of ideas, which all signs point
towards that being the case. Yeah.
Neil and I, very very cheap, we could quite happily do an updated Jeeves and Wooster. Neil, you probably the Jeeves, me probably the Wooster.
Sounds fine for me. Yeah.
Right. So do a bit of Jeeves. Just go. Indeed, sir.
Indeed, sir. Enjoy your bath now.
Perfect. Chef's kiss. I like it.
Not wearing that hat out, are we, sir?
But this is absolutely unbelievable, Jeeves.
Not quite Stephen Fry. There you go.
Hey, do you know who else? Do you know who else wasn't Stephen Fry? Stephen Fry before Jeeves and Wooster.
The Reverend's report included a variety of
wasn't even his name.
No, it wasn't.
No, his real name's
Bartholomew Tonks.
Bartholomew Tonks.
Yeah,
it is of the Smithfield Tonks.
Yeah.
And Hugh Laurie's real name is Nick Sandhurst, and he's from Crawley.
Yes, bit of a geezer.
He is a geezer. Used to
Fake now down, he'll have it.
Well, he got famous because he was a dancer for The Cure.
Yeah.
Originally, wasn't he?
That's true, yeah.
And they said, like Prince, they said he's got the look.
Exactly.
They ungothed him in a sheep dip, and then
stuck him in front of a piano.
And got him into the footlights.
And then history was made.
And the earth shook.
Yeah. The Reverend's report included a variety of distressing claims, including breaking of windows.
Oh dear.
Strange writing appearing on the walls.
Fuck me.
Daughter being locked into a room in which there was no key.
Shove it up your ass.
Objects such as bolts and stones being thrown about the house.
Slap my balls.
Marianne would make additions to the document that would eclipse anything reported before.
Oh dear.
The Reverend's wife appeared to be at the centre of the most extreme poltergeist activity. Claimed to have been violently thrown from bed and periodically attacked by an unseen agent.
Well, been there.
Reporting back to the Daily Mirror, Price was understandably interested and concerned after reading the Reverend's report and sought to exorcise the house. He attempted to do so. Is he an exorcist?
He's not even a priest.
You got to have the official fact.
Be a man of God.
You got to be, haven't you?
You got to be a motherfucking man of God.
Hey, Price.
Look, hey, Price, I like you. I like your style. You're a good guy. But you're way out of your league.
Spiritually, you're bringing him a knife
right
gunfight.
You're way out of your league, Price.
Fucking things you don't understand.
Price, I'm not. If you're expecting me to dive into a hell portal after you and pull you out, you got another thing coming. Yes. Get out of here.
20's Constantine.
Get your limey ass out of here. It's time for the big boys to show it how it's done.
I'm exercising here.
I'm priesting here. Hey! I'm communicating with the Omega and Alpha here. Get out of here. What, you from Yonkers? Yeah. Goddamn limey bastards.
What do you want me to do? Priesting or teabagging you? Because I can't do both.
We're gonna First you couldn't defeat the Nazis, and now you need to come in here and save your ass against the devil too. You goddamn well. Have you even said thank you?
Don't mean there was nothing but a crucifix and but a dick in my hand. You gotta come talking to me all this shit. Get the fuck out of here, Lemon. Anyway, right, whoever that character is, he put him back to bed. He was understandably interested. He said, after reading the Reverend's report and sought to exercise the house, tried on 2 occasions, but to no avail. The phenomenon was there to stay. He gained instant and enormous public attention, and soon enough, a whole plethora of amateur reporters and psychical researchers would attend the rectory in the hope of studying the phenomena.
Do you know what? Right. So we go on to we talk about today about kind of all of the internet and these amateurs and everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's kind of always been the case.
Was ever thus? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is because everyone, I mean, they're just bored, aren't they? So it's like, oh, let's, Arthur Conan Doyle and all that. We've said about it before on the podcast. Is, everyone was very into this kind of stuff, witchcraft and ectoplasm. Yeah.
Light bulbs going on and off.
Nice little seance.
Seances, tables lifting.
What could have done it? The Daily Mirror reported that the rectory continues to receive the unwelcome attention of hundreds of curious people. And at night, the headlights of their
Curepy, as they call them, don't they?
What's that?
Curepy.
Curepy?
Curious people. They call them Curepy.
Ah.
It's like with
the Curps.
It's like in sort of when people are looking for murderers in Criminal Minds, they call them unsubs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Needlessly complicated.
Unknown subject.
There you
go. The Curepys, yeah.
Yeah. Curepys at night, headlights of their cars could be seen for miles around. One enterprising firm even ran a motor coach to the rectory, inviting the public to come and see the Borley ghost, while cases of rowdyism were frequent. That's how it starts, isn't it? There's one lad with a 6-pack of Stella.
You know what I was going to say?
I've seen a ghost.
I was going to say, yes. Trip to the rectory and 4 drink tokens for the coach.
However, for all the investigators' initial interest, one common conclusion pervaded. Marianne was the cause. Okay, so centering on the wife. Whether intentionally or subconsciously, she was to be firmly placed at the centre of the storm. So there's eligible writing that appears on the walls of the rectory. It's been proved to be one of the most enduring images of the Borley saga and one that maintains interest to this day. So there's a bunch of... yes, they've got a load of handwriting here. So you can see Marianne. They're trying to write to the wife. I'm just trying to see if I can write to you. So, Marianne, please help get. Marianne, light mass prayers.
She does.
Marianne, get hello, hell rank.
Get hell rank.
So there's one where
Dante's Inferno.
They start to write to us. I cannot understand. Tell me more, Marianne. And then the writing's gone all spooky and we can't figure out. So, the ghosts are writing to Marianne. Following a visit to Borley, a professional medium, Guy Lestrange. He's nice.
Hey,
we've got priest Guy, now we've got Guy Lestrange.
I imagine Guy Lestrange,
Reverend Guy and Strange Guy.
I'm imagining him being like Israel's name is like Guy Pickle, but he's Guy Lestrange and he puts on like a really shit French accent. Yeah. Hello, my name is Guy Lestrange. I am from Paris. What do we have here? Like
I want them to team up. We go, hello, Guy Reverend.
He might be like
and my colleague, Guy Lestrange.
Guy Lestrange. He could be like
psychical investigators.
A Clouseau-esque.
Fight the ghost.
We will you say the close the door to L.
Yes.
Okay. Bon. Okay. Voilà.
Allez.
Tout de suite.
Later, being entertained by the rector and his wife, he heard for the first time, this is Guy Lestrange, the first time of mysterious forms, male and female.
Sounds like a really shit Marvel character.
Yeah.
And this season of Daredevil fights Guy Lestrange.
Only if it was a Marvel one, because it's fucking what's his face, Stan Lee. It'd be Eric Lestrange, wouldn't it? Because they were always alliterative, aren't they?
Yeah.
male and female being seen inside and outside of the house.
Edward.
Yeah, Edward Estrange. Yeah, there you go. Being seen outside the house, of lights in occupied rooms, articles appearing and being thrown, fires breaking out, mysterious whisperings and unexplained writings on walls and scraps of paper. Once the rector told him he was working alone in his study when he saw a pencil rise from the desk and scrawl words on the front of him. No hand was visible.
And was it just him who saw this?
Well, however, like so much of the rectory's history, Lestrange's claims are regarded as false.
I don't think someone who calls himself Guy Lestrange is going to be in any way suspect.
There's nothing overly theatrical or suspicious about this at all.
Any more than Philip Ghost Seeker.
Considering that the Reverend was meticulous in his accounts and never reported any such phenomena himself, and certainly no levitating pencils, the enduring image is one of wishful imagination on Guy's part. They've got a picture of the mirror, and I just want to point out, Chris. So they've got just having a look. My favourite thing is on the left-hand side, the biggest headline is "New hair grown by radioactivity," and they've done that as 2 words with a hyphen. Latest triumph for the world's most wonderful phenomenon: hair growth replaces baldness, and grey hair regains normal colour. So I think they're trying to lure people into just using radioactive substances.
Yeah, well, they weren't they, at the time?
Yeah.
It was like all the people who
barium on your head. That's fine. It'll all grow back.
It's like all the people who worked in the watch factories got cancer, didn't
they? Yeah, because licking the brushes and get into. Because the thing is, on the skin would have been one thing, but because they were ingesting it.
Yeah.
Because actually, I think it was alpha radiation rather than the one that penetrates the skin and bone.
Alpha radiation. I don't know any other type, Neil. What do you put? Beta radiation. Soy radiation.
Yeah, you're gamma.
Gammon radiation. That's what this country is.
Yeah, ironically, I imagine that would make quite a few of them a lot bolder. Anyway, nonetheless, when Marianne's name first appeared scrawled on scraps of paper, they soon attempted to establish a method of written communication asking what the spirit wanted, to which it replied, rest.
Rest.
Just wants a kip. Got hundreds of people fucking knocking around here.
I know.
And come on, let's have all hours. Just want to get some fucking kip. I've got blinded behind the eyes. And I swear to Christ, I'll knock this fucking manor down if you don't fucking pay it down.
They're coaching people in from the fucking pontins up in Skeggy, bringing them all Hindus and stuff. They're all coming in here, screaming. All right, girls, what is it you want?
Coming here as far afield as Bow. In on the train. Oh.
And those learner plates ain't fooling no one.
It was years later that the scribbles moved to walls and the attempts to engage with the rest of the spirit continued. The writing and attempts at communication were studied, documented, enhanced with pencil, photographed and removed with no solid resolution to the pleas. The couple's toddler, however, was noted to be, in the words of Andrew Clark in his essay...
Irritating.
Yeah, just annoying. No hand was visible. An invertebrate scribbler. Do you think the child might have been up to something here, Chris? I think they're pointing to... He goes on to...
Well, obviously the ghost's moving the child's mind, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a puppet.
It's just a possessed child.
Brain.
Yeah.
You know, like when you find a crab claw, and if you go inside, there's like that tendon, so you can make it still do that.
Still do the thing, yeah.
That's what they do with children. That's what ghosts do. But
in neurons. Yeah. Using them like a living pencil.
That's what I call children.
Yeah.
Living stationery.
Yeah.
Because you can draw on them as well.
That's true.
And if you're vigorous, you can use them to rub stuff out.
They've
got big foreheads. Excellent for it.
There was a rush of schools on bits of paper before the March 31, which was still happening when the Braithwaites, a prominent local family interested in spiritualism, visited the rectory, held a seance, and managed to save one of the bits of paper for posterity. The wall writings themselves coincided with the start of Marianne's affair with the lodger Frank Peerless.
Oh, was he?
I mean, do you know what?
They've got some good names, haven't they?
It's actually quite a boring story, but there's a lot of good names in it.
A lot of good names. A lot of good characters.
A lot of good names.
Hello, Frank Peerless.
Just into the room, it's like, what was it? It's like, Reverend Guy Lestrange, Frank Peerless.
Frank Peerless.
You know what's going on, Peerless? You arm it, I'll give it a go.
Be lucky. Bounces an apple off his arm.
There you go, darling.
Clicks his heels together.
What are they?
Oh,
Comes
maybe
her
it's
away.
because I'm a Londoner. And all I'm a Londoner.
Oh, I saw. Do you know? I don't know where I was coming across this. I saw Max Miller on YouTube the other day. I think he was in a film or something.
I mean, did you come across it by typing Max Miller into YouTube?
By 5 hours of meticulously looking for Max Miller material.
Just happened to come across it, yeah. Yeah, do you know what? That's the thing with the YouTube algorithm. It's always forcing Max Miller down people's throats.
Jesus. Again with a Max Miller.
Oh, come on. At least give me Norman Wisdom. Max Miller, for our international listeners, is just an old school.
He's a musical comedian.
When he
lived in Brighton, I believe, or quite a time. He was very famous in the 30s. Despite many recorded incidents.
Hey, Neil, maybe he'll come back round. Like a lot of stuff is from the 30s.
I mean, that's not the most obscure reference from today. I think Phineas Gage is probably.
I don't even know that reference.
So that was the guy who got a bit of railroad lodged through his head and survived.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was when they found out you could literally remove parts of the brain and people would survive, and still his behaviour, I believe, changed over. So they realised, the brain was compartmentalised.
And then they went, "Oh, that's interesting," and started putting needles to make people to make women shut up.
Oh, okay. We can remove bits, can't we?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, because I'm pretty sick of all the nagging, so bang.
Let's see which bit does what. Yeah, sadly, yeah.
Yeah, still want to vote, do you? Didn't think so.
Right, despite many
all out the barrel.
Being considered authentic or truly unexplained, any perceived legitimacy of Marion's claims was irreparably damaged after she confessed to being in a sexual relationship with the family's lodger.
Oh, well, how was the sex? Peerless.
To be frank,
peerless by name, peerless by nature.
Marion would go on to explain that she frequently used claims of supernatural phenomena to conceal her affair.
Nice.
Anyway, noise suspicious with a swim mention of a ghost.
What was it?
What's that screaming?
What's that screaming and banging?
It's fucking haunting.
Why do you look really happy? Reverie.
Mothery, hysterical. This kid's running around right on the walls pretending to be a ghost. His wife's having an affair upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
He's completely oblivious.
Oh, I heard some moaning coming from the cupboard. I bet you did. Do you know anything about this, Peerless? It's like fucking rising damp.
I didn't think this was going to turn into a carry on.
Confessions of a cyclical or whatever.
It's probably that Swift.
Oh, hello. I see you've got a spare room. My name's Peerless. Dick Peerless. My name's Dick Peerless.
Oh, dear.
This is what the country's really like. People need to remember that.
It's a very silly country.
Yeah. Every now and then we have to go and invade someone to try and hide it.
The story of Borley already had sensation and death.
Stuff happens when you live on an island.
Yeah,
no, I'm just going to say it. You can't. It's
very. You brought it up for so long.
It's very much like it's like the whole "you're trapped in I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me" thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can't just walk off to another country, unfortunately. If you're a strong swimmer, you could do the challenge.
You give it a try, but yeah.
And if you're a strong swimmer with access to a lot of goose fat, you can do the channel.
Let's face it, it's not just a physical channel; it's that mental channel we've all got, isn't it?
I'm scared of the world.
Yeah, we all are.
I don't know what to do, Neil. They speak different. Some of them don't even look like me. Oh.
Do it on purpose. So, adding sex.
They are doing it on purpose. They're doing it to antagonise us.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Being all different. Unbelievable. Did not Jesus walk upon the sacred fields?
Exactly.
Probably
Joseph
not.
had a long walk over it, didn't
Yeah, well, he was a well-known Ironman marathon
Well,
guy, wasn't
absolutely,
he?
yeah.
So that's why he was so cut.
So he just wanted to get early to Glastonbury. I do a good axe this year. Um, so added excellent reports was to
Oh, that's Jesus, Jesus. Yes, my son. Have you heard? Have you heard? What is it, my son? Is it the Romans or Herod? No, Stormzy's doing Glastonbury, sire. And there's like a map with a statue of Jesus going over the Alps and stuff.
Yeah, so scandal grips the nation. The Foysters would leave Borley in 1935, and the building stood empty for a short while. However, in 1937, Harry Price would return and take up residence in the house for 1 year.
Nice.
Employing a group of 48 individuals, predominantly students working weekends.
Employed is probably a strong word, isn't it?
Yeah. Price and his so-called official observers conducted a variety of experiments within the house, including recording instances of paranormal phenomena.
This isn't going the Crowley route, is it?
No, well, let's hope not. Yeah.
With 40 young students.
You do got to worry.
The Crowley, what's his name? Scientology guy. He did.
Oh no, you mean
no, both. But,
yeah.
What's his name?
Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard.
Johnny Cupboards.
Johnny Cupboards. In a flurry of experimentation, Price brought in several mediums and conducted huge series of seances. In one instance, in 1938, medium Helen Glanville was reported to have made successful contact with a nun, an identified male spirit. The latter spirit was to predict the rectory's ultimate destruction by fire in 1938. 27th of March 1938. Oh, the same year then. And so that's pretty good. And for all the spirit's confidence, he nor the medium channeling were too far from the truth. Okay. We were quite far from the truth because it didn't burn down by the looks of it. Because in 1939, the rectory's new owner, a Captain W.H. Gregson, was moving into the property when an oil lamp was upturned and the house was set ablaze. There was no saving the rectory. The house was gutted by flames. Although reported as an accident, upon investigation, the insurance company...
It's always fucking insurance, all of it. And all of this is children, literally every single one is children making stuff up, people telling children stuff to get them to shut up, or insurance frauds. That's literally, that's the whole... That's your whole paranormal world for you, there in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So far, Neil, but we're still waiting for that one bit of proof.
Might have gotten it past your psychical investigator. Good fucking luck with the loss adjuster shed.
Yeah, that's the luck with London life.
Yeah. Right. It was reported an accident. Upon investigation, the insurance company deemed Gregson's actions as deliberate, and the house was left as a ruin, never to be rebuilt.
Mary Celeste was the same, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that was partly that, and just like I think Conan Doyle made up a load of shit about it. The story, and everyone took that as the facts. Despite renaming, talking of ones that are disappointing, despite renaming the property the Priory, it is suggested that he ultimately planned to cash in on the rectory's history and turn the house into a tourist stop. Oh, another. Well, as we've said,
it's in Essex. That's not too far from the new Universal Studios, Bedford.
Oh, nice.
Bedford.
What is it they're going to have on there? There's going to be like Paddington Bear. And I think
James Bond stunt, all the stuff that I'm not.
What is that? Just like a guy in a tux walking around with a fucking wolf of PPK. How do you?
No, they're doing. It's a stunt show, so it'll be like people on motorbikes going and jumping over like a London bus or something, and like an explosion.
Or you get to go in some like martini bar and then like make really obnoxious comments, and everyone pretends it's really witty. Yeah. Some poor woman's paid to go, "Oh, James." Talking of hard things, my penis. Oh, James, you are a wag.
And then you
studied stand up at Bellaloy. Yes, I got a double first.
Like in water parks, where people are like queuing up in water parks and they get handed like a rubber ring to go on the rides.
Yeah.
Right. You walk out of the bar and you get handed like a blow up doll and point it towards a room to go. It's like that's like British Westworld, isn't it? Paintball guns and blow up dolls.
Yes.
The people with from the TA taking it really seriously.
That's why I've never been paintballing.
That's why I've never been in the TA.
Yeah.
Despite they keep coming knocking, Neil, and
Well, they will.
I'll keep moving.
One day. One day.
I'm not. I'd stop drinking, so I'd never take the King's shilling.
Yeah, fair enough. He tried to cash in, but he wasn't to have his wish. However, the small matter of a raging fire was not to keep Harry Price away from Borley. I've got a feeling Harry Price might be a bit of a grifter as well, but let's say after revisiting more...
You're picking up on that, are you?
I'm getting that impression.
Right.
I'm getting that impression. After revisiting more of Marianne's wall writings, Price believed that the message read, "The well tank bottom me," or "The well tank bothers me."
The well tank bottom me is Polari.
Yeah, I was going to say that's.
I've heard Kenneth Williams say that on Round the Horn.
Oh, he's well tank. Bottom me.
I wouldn't mind him. Oh, hello, I'm Julian, and this is my friend Sandy. Oh, well tank bottom me. Oh, not with lallies like that, dear.
So if anything thinks we're being inappropriate, we're referring back to 70s kind of British comedy where
50s, 60s.
Yeah,
so
well, it went on for a while, didn't it? Where basically
homosexuality was illegal, and basically there was a thing.
It would be implicit in radio comedy and kind of like
there was gay slang called Polari.
50s to the 70s. So we're not.
No, we're actually shouting out Polari because Round the Horners, that's really funny, and Kenneth Williams is genius, and I love the fact it's really subversive.
So he was sure that the body of a nun whose restless spirit plagued the house would at last be found at the bottom of the well, presumably. He returned to the site and dug into the cellar, finding the bones that would bring the full story of the rectory to a dramatic final closure.
Final battle.
They've got a picture of him with a spade digging at the bottom of the well. As with all aspects of Borley, the resolution was not as it seems. The two bones found at the bottom of a pit were that of a pig, not a tragic nun.
Or a pig man.
Could be the pig man. Or he just had ribs for lunch. And oh no.
What?
What's this?
They just absent-mindedly just like chucking them down the well and goes, right, now what's down the well?
So I like this. Although faced with a cold pork of reality, Price was not to be shaken from his own narrative.
I'm going to give you a cold pork of reality. Would you like that?
Hey, that's the writer's kudos, not mine. I don't actually know what it means.
You're about to find out.
Yeah,
sweet cheeks.
I didn't care for it. They got one.
It's not about what you want at this point, boy.
What's going to happen? Shake was a narrative, nor his continued relationship with Borley's publicity. Accounts of exactly what was found vary to this day, although the local vicar of Borley refused to allow the Christian burial of the bones, mainly because it was the chicken bones,
some chickens,
ribs,
mainly because the casket was a KFC bucket.
It's like he's taking a piss.
And he was finishing it as he walked in.
No, it's not. None. Subsequently, 2 years later, in 29th of May 1945, a small gathering, including Price, a local photographer, watched on as the bones were interred in a service officiated by the Reverend Alfred Clifford Henning. Oh.
German lad.
Nice. 1945, and he's found. Yeah. Anyway, an official report.
No, these are just chicken bones. Yeah, big chicken.
Yeah, it's fine.
Very big chickens in Bavaria.
For many years.
Look over there for me. Oh, bones all gone. No problem.
In official reports from Price's contemporary website, and his book, The End of Borley Rectory. Oh, hang on a second. Something. Be with you in a minute.
Oh, now I'm going to have to edit it. Do you know what? I'm not. I'm going to continue speaking to you, the audience, while Neil collects the package from the door. Wonder what it is. What do you think? Please put your comments in the comment section. What do we think that Neil had brought to him? I would guess, well, I don't know. In the old days, I'd say a guitar pedal. Now, maybe a lovely new book of poetry. Let's find out. Also, while we're here together, why don't you hit that like and subscribe and give us a rating? And if at any point you enjoy our stuff, we have a Ko-fi. We've been doing this like 8th series now. So if you've enjoyed it and you fancy chucking us a fiver, that will just go towards paying for the Acast and all that jazz. Thanks very much. Let's get back to Neil. Neil, what was it that you were receiving?
Oh no, past one of the neighbours.
Oh, I thought it was a package coming.
It was a package, but not for me.
Sorry, guys. I continue talking to save myself editing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, where were we? Bones.
Cool.
I should have said it was the haunted doll or something, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Oh. I said it might be a guitar pedal.
Top it for quite some time.
No, I did say that as well. Now,
do
you know what? I'm not going to go through it. You can just watch it back.
It's fine. I'll watch it back at some point.
Just watch it back.
So they were bones, part of a human jaw and a skull, popularly thought to be the mortal remains of Marie O'Hare, the ghost nun who still haunts the rectory site, were placed in a wooden box and loaded into a small hole dug by the rector earlier in the day. The rectory was demolished in 1944, and even in the process of destruction, ghostly visions continued.
Oh, right.
Harry Price attended the site with his researcher, Cynthia Ledsham, and a photographer.
Who was previously one of the students.
Presumably, yeah. David Sherman, with the intent of gathering images for an article to be published in Life magazine, who did one of our previous ones, which actually had a lot more evidence to it than this one. As the group were unable to approach the building during demolition, photographs were taken of the frontage as the building was slowly raised to the ground.
Now seen behind Neil here.
Yes. After developing the photographs, one in particular caught Price's eye. One photograph showing a brick in midair was placed centre stage, inferring that the brick was levitating rather than falling. I mean, you can if you like. Able to publish another claim about the inherent darkness of Borley. Look, see, proof. A levitating brick.
I'm making a claim that those walls are being held up not by gravity but by ghosts.
Exactly. Writing in the end of Borley Rectory, he said, as Mr. Sherman pressed the trigger which operated the shutter mechanism of the camera lens, a brick, or part of a brick, suddenly shot up 4 feet in the air in front of what remained of the kitchen passage, just below the bathroom passage. The three of us saw it, and as I said, we were at least 100 feet away. We all laughed and called it the last phenomenon.
Right, let it go. It's dead.
The poltergeists are demonstrating in honour of our visit. I mean, because you'd see like motion blur as well, wouldn't you, if it was a photograph on an old-timey cameras?
You would think so.
I would have thought. I don't know. I'm not.
No, but that's not motion blur. That's it's aura.
No, that's true. Yeah,
bricks have auras.
A spirit holding up the brick. We've captured it on camera. Of all Price's claims, the last glass of a floating brick is arguably the one most easily dismissed. With the loss of Borley came the loss of Price's association and renown with the site that gripped the nation. However one may support Price's earlier investigations, a floating brick seems to be little more than a desperate grasp for proof. Falling masonry does not a poltergeist make.
Well, as that massive chest tattoo that you have says.
It's a very true comment. So he died
with Tupac underneath crying.
Yeah. He knew the truth. So Harry Price died on 29th of March, 48, presumably of a broken heart. Now his beloved rectory down. Yet his research and work with Borley was not to rest easily. Following his death, accusations of fraud were rife from skeptics, investigators.
Come on. Don't smear his name. He was a good man. Now. He was a good man. Look, maybe he made some mistakes. Who hasn't?
Later in 56, 3 of Price's peers collaborated on a work titled The Haunting of Borley Rectory, which argued that the majority of Price's claims were deliberately false and fraudulent, with reported phenomena easily attributed to deliberate misdirection, acoustics, or the presence of vermin within the residence.
And these were former friends and colleagues of him, so not a popular man.
No, although one might ask, why were they hanging out at the time? There you go. Now, all of a sudden, they know the truth. Anyway, although many contemporary enthusiasts, parapsychologists, and academics alike support and endorse Price's legacy and body of work, fair enough. It's an interesting position to take at this point in time. His contribution to the world of paranormal research remains a contentious issue.
Not for this web. Not for this
No, we're
podcast.
pretty much sure
Not
all
for
full of
this
shit.
podcast.
Later in life, Marianne Foster would publicly admit her part in the haunting of Borley Rectory. Ah, okay, so this is the lady having the
It's
affair.
more like Borley Rectory at this point, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, basically just the vicar's wife nutted one of the lodgers. That's pretty much all that happened.
Mm-hmm. She pegged a lodger. She pegged Robert Asquith in a cupboard. And then
he was running around right on the walls.
And then it was a ghost. And then her dullard husband went, "Oh, okay, dear. Well, maybe we should get a ghost man in. I met a man down the pub who knows about ghosts."
Metaphysical research is called for, clearly.
I met a man rummaging through the bins around the back of the co-op who said he knew a lot about ghosts. Maybe I'll get him in. Price something, I believe.
Let me change it to Kyla Straw.
Do you know what? Okay, love, do what you want. Oh, you're going out to find him now, are you? Okay. Peerless!
Let me just show the lodger to his room, okay?
Peerless!
I think you find it by now. He's been there for 2 years.
Peerless, get the margarine. Round 2, boy. Yeah. This old brick's off to go and find a ghost hunter. Let's do it on his desk.
So she admitted that they never had experienced anything supernatural in the house, and any reports of the contrary were false. It's pretty black and white. She explained that all reported activity in the house were due to misinterpreted creaks and sounds from ill weather, the movements of visitors, in the house, and her own deliberate deception.
Damn conditions, yeah.
Ultimately, her husband's cost. Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, his pride's been pretty fucking haunted, I'll say that much. He got the Reverend, whatever his name was, the Reverend guy. He got mugged off something hard here.
Yeah.
The story's
the problem, innit? This is the problem. You got to keep one eye on the actual world, even when you're thinking about the spirit one.
Yeah, it will come back to bite you.
Peerless.
Yeah, and there's basically
Peerless. You seem to have lots of bite marks on you. Have you been attacked by podcast?
Good Lord, a physical manifestation. This is a first.
Peerless, you're covered in ectoplasm. Peerless, my desk is covered in ectoplasm.
And there's just a lot of stuff. More links where you can read further. I mean, I think we've had enough.
I think we've had enough. This is probably one of our longest episodes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That went on a lot longer than I thought it would. But yeah, not even close to being a haunted house in England, Borley Rectory.
So, Neil, should we go through our scoring system for Ball Lake Manor? Spookiness, Neil.
I mean,
the naivety.
Yes, the naivety of the husband is quite terrifying.
Considering he was in a position of authority to tell people, to guide people through their day-to-day life, give spiritual guidance.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be quite like no. I mean, that's not.
It's one of those situations where, like, the first son was the doctor, the second one
exactly.
joined the army,
to church. Yeah,
and then the
old cliche went.
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah.
Let's just get through the numbers quick, man. 2.
It's not very spooky at all.
2. Yeah. So I don't think it's spooky either. So yeah, I'm gonna give 2 as well. So believability. So wow. Do I believe it was a ghost? No. Do I believe that this guy thought it was a ghost? Do you know what? I think deep down he knew. And I think that he was willing to go along with that to save his own ego and marriage. So believability, I'm going 2 again.
The 1 for me, mate.
Yeah. Narrative premise now. We all love 70s sex comedies, don't we? Such as Percy and Percy's Progress.
You can't. Well, if you're from the UK or you're from the UK and you're a certain age, I imagine like younger UK listeners are probably wondering what the fuck we're talking about.
Well, no, there's repeats, and they
might have seen
maybe not now that people don't watch telly.
I feel like Carry On movies and stuff are probably not a cultural milestone the way when we were growing up and watching them on bank holidays and stuff. But because let's face it,
we had 4 channels.
Yeah, exactly. So Bond movies and fucking sex comedies is what I had growing up.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at you now.
Carry on. Yeah, exactly. And it didn't do us any harm, did it?
Nothing does any harm at all.
It's nice and repressed. Don't worry about it. We're all perfectly happy and well adjusted.
Repressed but could snap at any point. Excellent.
So, yeah, no, there's an excellent, 10.
10. Yeah, I think the only thing that lets it down for
That is
me,
that is the twist I want to see out of my haunted house story.
the only reason I'm going to give it a 9 is because there wasn't the introduction of a milkman at any point.
Yeah.
And
but we can work that one in. We can work that one into the Netflix.
Yeah, again, ITV2, me and Neil can quite easily. Yeah. If you're out of ideas, which all signs are pointing towards, let's be honest.
Well, it'd be like, Quentin Tarantino used to get all the has-beens in, like John, Tarantino hadn't been in it. Not Tarantino, like, Travolta hadn't been in anything for years. We'll get Robin Asquith's career back in.
Get
culminating in him winning an Oscar in 3 years' time.
Unfortunately, I think Leslie Phillips passed, didn't he? Unfortunately,
badly, yeah.
Unfortunately, most it's always the good ones that go first, isn't it?
Is Babs Windsor still with us? Has she passed as well? Yeah, rolling the dice on any of these names, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
McKellen will play. McKellen would be in it. He'd love it.
He's a good laugh. Yeah.
McKellen, Stewart,
yeah,
and Miram. There's your lineup.
Ian, Patrick, 46. Come, what do you say? Yeah, Helen Mirren. She'd beat you down with that.
Yeah, that'd do.
46 from everyone.
I believe he's gone out of the house. It's time to engage.
We need to get Matt Berry in it somehow as well. Yeah. I mean, I know you were doing a
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
So, Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen's more like this.
That's true.
Yeah. Reach, Neil.
That was quite a good Ian McKellen.
Thanks very much.
Reach. I'd never heard of it, and given what we know about it now, I can't see anyone giving a shit.
Most haunted place in Britain, though.
Nice. I heard of a haunted toilet.
Well, I've been in your toilet.
It's only spookier.
We're actually coming to that when we talk about Gates of Hell, aren't we? Later.
2 out of 10. I don't see this being well known, and there's no good reason why it should be.
So I'm going to go a little bit high because there's been a book and stuff. It's not like.
Yeah, and if you type the most haunted house in England, you can. Yeah, I think it's. Yeah.
So I'm gonna. I imagine within paranormal circles, it's a hot button issue. So I'm going to give it
the gullible are
the gullible are like it. So I'll give it a 4. Sorry, that's not gullible. Just open-hearted.
Open-minded. Open-hearted, open-minded.
Yeah. Open-walleted to whoever comes strolling through, giving you a line. Okay, so that gives an overall score 34, which not too bad. Fortunately, the sex comedy part boosted it.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry it's such a long episode, but
I really didn't think we'd make an hour out of that.
When the muse takes us,
what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly, and because I've been talking as well to kind of distract from my jippy tummy. Neil, I got sick from eating fruit. I can't do anything right. Oh, Sid. So that's it. I've done all the stuff about the sub-like and all that. So if you could, that'd be good. If you can't, we're not going to hold it against you.
No, absolutely not. If you watch or listen,
it would be a strange hill to die on. It would be a strange hill to die on. That's all I'm saying. Wouldn't it? So that's it from us on this week's very normal episode of Urbane Legends. Big love.
See you next week.
To Big P, he's up dancing to Two Step Garage with JC and the rest of the boys.
Good luck to him, RIP.
Yeah, and while he's up there, if he could maybe have a word and get a few things sorted out down here.
Little chaps and Peter. Don't mind if you do.
That'd be nice.
Big dog.
That'd be nice. It's nice. It's nice to have a break, yeah. But don't forget us down here. And yeah, and that's it. We love you very much. And I'm not gonna bother. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.